Rotation, while present in all disciplines, is most discernible in slalom. The quickness of slalom turns highlights these dynamic movements. The more lively the actions, the more obvious the rotation. While not always overt, rotation or rotational balance is always present. Rotational balance occurs in the horizontal plane. Therefore, what is being balanced is moving, or in this case, rotating in a plane more or less parallel with the snow. So what is being balanced? You need two things to achieve balance. Rotational balance is the rotating torque of the lower body equaling or being in balance with the rotating torque of the upper body at exactly the same speed of rotation and opposite in direction. For example, if the legs rotate at 90 degrees per second clockwise, the hip joints rotate 90 degrees per second counterclockwise. While the legs rotating is very obvious, the pelvis rotating is not so noticeable. Rotational balance is very stealth. When the skier is in rotational balance, the upper body looks quiet and appears non-contributory. This has given rise to the coaching cue of keep your upper body quiet. While the intent of this popular cliche is accurate, it only tells half the story. And half the story is only half the equation. And remember, we need two things to balance. While the lower body is rotating under the upper body must be equally rotating over the lower body. While this may seem to be applicable for rotational movements that are obvious, such as redirected turns or stivets, it must be pointed out that an arc-to-arc turn has the same rotational balance elements. We will highlight this in detail in the upper body discipline chapter. While the upper body looks quiet, it is actually turning opposite the lower body. It is common to think of the femurs rotating in the pelvis. Turn this scenario upside down and you have the pelvis rotating over the femurs. Remember, something rotating clockwise while something else rotates counterclockwise. Therefore, it does not matter if the skis are secured to the snow or if they are free to move over the snow. The balance of lower body rotation equaling the upper body rotation is most evident when the task becomes demanding. To be in perfect balance, the upper body should appear not to move or rotate. That is, not to move or rotate in space. Although it is moving or rotating relative to the lower body, these are two different perspectives and a very important difference. When the demand is high, the upper body can at times be seen rotating opposite the lower body. In this demanding situation, the upper body is not exactly in balance. The high demand makes it such that the two are just slightly out of sync. This is the case of the upper body and lower body rotating in opposite directions, but not at opposite rotational speed. Therefore, out of sync and out of rotational balance. Skis that rotate one direction have to have a torque and rate that is equal to the torque and rate from the upper body rotating the opposite direction. A skier that squares up or keeps the upper body aligned with the direction of the skis is not in a balanced position rotationally. Sometimes it has been assumed that this would be a strong stance because of the logic of aligning body parts. While this is true for a body that is not moving or one that is not on an inclined plane, going around gates involves rotational forces that need to be neutralized with an opposing rotational force. Command of rotational balance will give the skier more control and options at turn transition. This will be further elaborated on in the chapter on upper body discipline.